Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, episode 143, where we dive into the chilling unknown that lurks just beyond the veil. I'm Juniper, your producer, and tonight we're venturing into the dark forests of Cisco Grove, California, to unravel a 1964 encounter that's equal parts terrifying and bizarre. Picture this: a lone hunter, a tree perch, and the night-long battle against humanoid figures, and the glowing-eyed robot straight out of a nightmare. This is the Cisco Grove encounter, and it's going to send shivers down your spine. Matt, you ready to guide us through this eerie tale?
Oh, Juniper, I'm more than ready. This one's got everything. UFOs, creepy humanoids, and a robot that sounds like it wandered off a sci-fi horror set. I've been itching to sink my teeth into this one.
I bet our listeners are already on edge just hearing about it. So let's not keep them waiting. Take us into the shadows, Matt.
Welcome, Shadow Seekers, to the Shadow Frequency. Tonight, we're stepping into the dense moonlit woods of Cisco Grove, California, where on September 4th, 1964, a hunter named Donald Shrum faced a night of pure terror that would haunt him for decades. Imagine you're out bow hunting with friends in the rugged Sierra Nevada mountains. The air is crisp, the forest silent, and then, bam, you're separated from your group as dusk creeps in. That's exactly where 28-year-old Donald Shrum found himself. A welder for Aerojet General, a guy used to working on missiles, not fighting off otherworldly beings. Deciding to play it safe, Shrum climbed a pine tree to avoid bears or other wildlife, securing himself with his belt for a night's rest. But sleep didn't come. Instead, he noticed a white light zigzagging through the trees at low altitude, moving in a way no helicopter could. Thinking it might be a rescue party, Shrum jumped down, lit flares, and signaled for help. That's when things took a turn into the paranormal. The light, now clearly no chopper, veered toward him and stopped about 50 yards away, revealing itself as a disc-shaped craft, silent and glowing. Shrum, heart pounding, scrambled back up the tree, his bow at the ready. Then, from the darkness, three figures emerged. Two were humanoid, just over 5 feet tall, clad in silvery suits that shimmered under the moonlight, their faces obscured by what looked like welding goggles. The third, a robot, straight out of a nightmare. It was dark, metallic, with reddish-orange eyes glowing like embers, and a slit-like mouth that dropped open like an oven door. These beings weren't here to chat. They wanted Shrum, and they meant to get him. The humanoids began shaking the tree, trying to dislodge him, while the robot unleashed a white vapor from its mouth that hit Shrum like a wave, knocking him unconscious. When he came to, nauseous but still clinging to the tree, the assault continued. Shrum, fighting for his life, lit matches and tossed them down, watching the beings scatter briefly before returning. In a desperate move, he loaded his bow and fired an arrow at the robot. A spark flew, confirming its metallic nature, and the creature backed off, but only for a moment. The humanoids kept coming, relentless, their movements eerily coordinated, almost as if guided by signals from the UFO hovering nearby. This wasn't just a random encounter. It felt like a calculated siege, a test of Shrum's will to survive against forces not of this earth. For hours, this otherworldly standoff dragged on, Shrum hurling burning clothing, branches, even coins from his pockets, anything to keep these entities at bay. The forest, once a place of solace, had become a battleground where the paranormal reigned supreme. The glowing eyes of that robot, the silent menace of the humanoids. It's the stuff of nightmares that lingers long after the dawn. Juniper, this case is wild. What do you make of Shrum's fight-or-flight response against these creepy visitors?
Matt, I'm getting chills just picturing him up in that tree, fending off aliens with a bow and arrow like some kind of paranormal Robin Hood. It's like the forest itself turned against him.
Right.
What's next in this eerie saga?
Oh, it gets even stranger, Juniper. Let's take a quick break and then we'll dive into the rest of this chilling encounter. Stay tuned, Shadow Seekers.
Wow, listeners, can you imagine being Donald Shrum, stuck in a tree with aliens and a robot trying to gash you into oblivion? It's the kind of story that makes you question what's really out there in the dark. We're only halfway through this haunting tale, and Matt's got more to unravel about the Cisco Grove encounter. And if you're loving Shadow Frequency as much as we love bringing it to you, you can consider liking and subscribing on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and all the major podcast directories. You can also visit our website at shadowfrequencypodcast.com, where you can listen to all of our episodes. You can leave us a voicemail telling us where you're tuning in from. We can feature it in an upcoming show. You can also check out the Shadow blog that has companion articles for each episode. Grab some cool swag at our store, and you can buy us a coffee if you like to keep the spooky vibes going. Right now, we're going to dive into the mailbag where we share your thoughts and chills. I just got to reach over and hit the button.
It's time for the Shadow Frequency mailbag.
We've got a great message this time from Steve in Pennsylvania, who writes, whether I'm driving through the back roads, taking a walk in the woods, or sneaking in an episode at work, can't get enough of the Shadow Frequency. Matt and Juniper, you two are the perfect duo. Your passion for the paranormal is infectious. Keep digging into those creepy cases, and I'll keep listening to every episode. Love you guys. Thanks, Steve. That's the kind of energy that keeps us going. Listeners, if you want to share your thoughts, you can drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Matt, take us back to Cisco Grove. What happened next?
Welcome back, Shadow Seekers, to the Shadow Frequency. We're deep in the Cisco Grove encounter of 1964, where Donald Shrum, stranded in a tree, was locked in a 12-hour battle with humanoid figures and a robotic entity straight out of a horror flick. As the night wore on, things only got weirder. A second robot joined the fray, emitting more of that knockout vapor, sending Shrum into brief blackouts. Each time he woke, the humanoids were closer, some even climbing the tree, their goggle-like eyes glinting in the dark. Shrum fought back with everything he had, tossing burning branches, his cap, even loose change, anything to disrupt their eerie persistence. Near dawn, more humanoids appeared, and a massive cloud of that strange gas hit Shrum, knocking him out cold. When he came to, he was dangling from the tree by his belt alone. The craft, the beings, the robots, they were gone, leaving only the eerie silence of the forest. Shrum made it back to camp, shaken but alive, and found that one of his hunting buddies, Vincent Alvarez, had seen the same UFO that night, adding a layer of credibility to his wild tale. Shrum later reported the incident to the Air Force, who took his arrows for testing but dismissed his story, suggesting he'd imagined it or mistaken owls for aliens. Now let's pause for a moment of skepticism. Could Shrum's encounter have been a hallucination, perhaps triggered by exhaustion or something in the environment? Some argue he might have inhaled a natural gas or plant-based toxin in the forest, conjuring these vivid images of robots and humanoids. But the consistency of his story, the physical marks on the tree, and Alvarez's sighting of the UFO make it hard to dismiss entirely. This wasn't a fleeting glimpse, it was a prolonged, visceral struggle. What makes Cisco Grove so chilling is its uniqueness. The mix of biological humanoids and robotic entities isn't a common trope in UFO lore. Were these beings conducting an experiment, testing Shrum's resilience, or were they something else entirely? Interdimensional entities perhaps slipping into our reality to toy with a lone human. Shrum's life was never the same. He suffered PTSD and career setbacks, yet he stuck to his story, even when it cost him. This case, Shadow Seekers, is a haunting reminder that the unknown doesn't always come in peace. Juniper, what do you think? Were these aliens just messing with Shrum, or was there a darker purpose?
Matt, I'm leaning toward them testing him like some cosmic science experiment. It's so creepy to think about.
Right.
What's your final take on this one?
It's one of the most unsettling UFO cases out there, Juniper. The robots, the gas, the relentless pursuit.
Right.
It's like they wanted to see how far he'd go to survive. Let's wrap this up, Shadow Seekers. Juniper, take us home.
What a wild ride through the Cisco Grove encounter, Shadow Seekers, from Donald Shrum's desperate stand in a tree to those eerie humanoid and robotic beings. This 1964 case leaves us with more questions than answers. Were they aliens, interdimensional tricksters, or something we can't even fathom? Keep pondering the unknown and visit us at shadowfrequencypodcast.com to catch up on all of our episodes, read our Shadow blog, grab some swag, or leave us a voicemail. We might feature you next time. Thanks for joining us in the shadows. Matt, say goodbye.
Stay spooky, everyone.
Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your heart in the shadows.
Good night.
Good night, goofball.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.